Why is it so dark in here? Why is it so dark in here? And there's definitely no music. I mean, there's really no ambiance. Who wants to show? I see a lot of videos lately. They say, how do you make these videos? How do you make them brighter, right? How do you make them clearer? So just give me a minute to set this up. Not really ready to go yet. See a lot of paint in the background. Can you figure out why? Why is my apartment look the way it does? Just why does it look this way? There is a few reasons why, but anybody can make up any reason. I'm just trying to fix things. My computer is down, so it doesn't look the same today. Let me put on a few more lights. How is everybody doing? Yes, it was about the music, right? We were gonna put on a little music. So we got that, but it is a little dark. I don't know why. And we got all the lights on, but we're pretty dark here. What's going on with this, eh? Why are we so dark today? Why is everything looking so dark? Okay, let me see if I can fix this. This is really weird. Whoa. My best light just fell down. Just give me a minute to fix it. Plus I want to put on some music here. My phone won't charge. That's okay. Today is like, it is the day that it is. And it's a funny day because I made a phone call and I needed a fax to be sent somewhere. Actually, I didn't know the mail is down, so they asked me for a fax number. I called the place and they sent me to another secretary. And the phone hung up and I called back again and they gave me the number for the fax. I didn't actually need the other lady. I just needed their fax number. The main fax was in the main office and the other secretary didn't have a fax. So they sent me back to the main office to get me the fax number, right? And then I hung up the phone and I remembered I needed to make that appointment at the same time. So I called them back and they transferred me and then the phone hung up again. And I had to call, it was like, okay, so let me get a little music on here. Would you like to know, has anybody checked out what I do? Right, let me open this player over here. I like this. My computer's down. It keeps like shutting off now. I put something on and it switched the page on me all by itself. Open the player, Deep Space One. I like this music. So let me fix this over here. Oh, that fell on the floor, right? Okay, I gotta, You know, sometimes you just really need 3 hands, right? Or what about the idea? Imagine we should have come here with 3 hands, right? 3 hands and 2 heads. But then everything would be like too easy, you know? So one of our hands has to be the ingenuity to use the other hands to manufacture something to help ourselves out, right? Imagine if we were just like the creator. Now, who is this almighty great creator that we never get to see, right? What did this creator do? Made us to do what the creator couldn't get done all at one time. Imagine if you have to do 100 different things, right? And if you don't do the 100 different things, everything ends. Now imagine if you had a time period in order to get all these 100 things done. And every single day you go out and you never complete the mission. You never complete the mission. So you think about it and you say to yourself, how can I complete the mission of the day? How can I complete the mission of the day? I know. I'll make another one of me. In fact, I'll make many more of me. And I'll make this, I'll put them in a bubble, put them in a giant bubble. We'll call it Planet Earth. Planet Earth. And they can go out, although there'll be lesser of me, okay? They'll be all of me because they'll be able to think like me. They'll be living in my womb. They breathe in. I can communicate with them because they're in my house, so I can communicate them. And anybody wants to come into the house, they have to use my communication system or they will cease to exist. So everybody that's in my house, okay? And so that's the way I basically see the way it is. And we have our own free will and we're just getting the job done that the greater of all greats could not do. And one of them might be to sustain area space, to sustain the what I like to call the cell between the matter and the energy, the hydrogen and all this, in order for it not to be destroyed by empty or void area space. I believe it has to create some sort of a combustion, okay? And nature, you know, just does whatever it wants, right? Does nature have any control? Well, the trees grow. Well, are there, what do you call it, recipes in the seeds for these trees to grow? And then I saw a word 2 minutes ago, and the word is tetragrammaton. And when you look through the word, and since we are the children of the Creator, everything was made for us to see. And well, somebody's going to say, well, how come we die? And how come this? And how come that? Maybe the same thing goes for us and these bodies. Whatever is inside of our bodies, and I found one of these things inside of our bodies, right, that keep us the way we are. And it's one of these modules. This is a major module, okay? It's Rubik's Cube, okay? Different systems get added on to this. And I think one of the systems, they call it a, I don't remember what the name was. And in order to keep us as human-like, okay, through our DNA, they have to give us one of these, land of Haaretz, the tree, right? And it keeps continuing to turn us back into these humans constantly. And you can't deny that every single day, my hair doesn't grow on my face. And what's happening to each individual, and why a woman is a woman and why a man is a man. Forget about what's up here. Forget about this. I believe that the wiring sometimes gets screwed up, and the man becomes a woman and the woman becomes a man up here. And also whatever it is, okay, in the system, it's a moon system, right? It's not a perfect system, but at the same time, as perfect as it is that I say it might not be, okay, there's interference within the system. There's interference in the system. All those, what they call ET that entered into the system, all must run through the same communication system, though they can have their own ham radio, right? They can have their own radios between themselves. On this planet, we work at the ham radio level. But amongst the two marital statuses, amongst the matrimonials, right? We run with the 2 moons of Mars, right? Like we're always doing this, right? You ever see this being done often? These are the 2 moons of Mars being run or ordering around the moon of Luna. 2 moons equaling to what is a wolf. 1 moon is going to equal to what is the lamb. Bélier, Aries, all rise under judgment. I'm going to be taking a 1-minute break, running into the kitchen, warm myself up some hot water. Wasn't planning on doing a video. I'm getting a little discouraged when I see 2-3 people show up, and I know the information is very pertinent. And what's more pertinent than the information I share is the little bit of information I share, so that you can open up that you can breathe and say, oh my God, this is so crazy. We are actually really connected to the Creator. And how will I show you, and how all this that will make you believe this, okay, over my last 20 years of studies, in which only the last few years that everything seems to be falling into place, it actually tells us that we are a system, that this is Rubik's Cube, that Earth and Mars do run together. There is a reason for the 3-year and the 1-year cycle. There is a reason, okay, reason with reason, okay, for the 29 days of February. There is a reason with reason why the Hebrews celebrate the Bat Mitzvah, okay, in the 12th year. There is a reason why the male is the Bar Mitzvah. There is a reason, that I'm going to say electric moon, there is a reason why nothing gets connected to a child within the womb, okay, of the mother until after the 92nd day, upon completion of the cycle, of the 91-day cycle. It's an 84, and running up the pole is 7 days. And what that does is it affects the mother, because there's a continuous line that branches off into the child in the 92nd, 182nd, or the 184th, right? Like July 4th. And then again on September 29th, when you're in the year of the leap year. I know you won't understand what I'm saying. Just understand what I did mention, and I mentioned for reason, and I do these videos for reason, is that it doesn't matter what I write down in the book. It doesn't matter what I know. It's the questions you can ask me that I can answer. You can say, oh, okay. And then if I start showing mathematical equations, and it's all for the children of the Creator, so it's all simple math. There is no hardcore math. When I go 360 degrees, I go 9 by 40. I go 90 by 4. I go 45 by 8. I go 80 by 40 by 4.5. I do all of the science. If I'm going to make a cake and I read in a book, I'm also going to maybe, hey, what if I put it 5 degrees more? What if I put it 5 degrees less? What if I add some cherries into the cake? What if I add some chocolate chips? What if I use this flour instead of that flour? So although I have the basic of the science, it now gives me an idea to change that science. And to be fair, it's got to taste good to me. That's the fairness, is that it tastes as good as what I was making, or under whose taste buds, who goes under what judgment. And if you're going under a certain judgment, if you're being judged at all, would that be under amateur judgment amongst yourself and your friends and family? Or would it be professional judgment that you ended up on one of these cooking shows? Okay, my numerology, okay, dwells inside of games, whether it's Rubik's Cubes and dice cubes and calculators, okay, whether you want to go through little quippets in the Bible, or you want to understand the deck of cards, how everything comes together, the dog and the cat and the horse and the mouse and the rat and the elephant in the back of your car, the trunk where the elephant is, right? But instead of having water in the back of the trunk, we have gasoline in the trunk, and we store things in the trunk, and the elephant has a microprocessor, and the way the elephant goes up and sets up its watering holes, and we know that there's a vacuum system within the trunk of the elephant of the microprocessor, and I know this because of Fred Flintstone, right? The F red and the bar, right? The bar and the knee. The bar, just take the bar for the bar mitzvah. Okay, take it for the sun, okay, for the sun and the moon bar. It's the sun and the moon bar. Now we're going to talk about, there's a sand bar, okay, which is a DNA bar, which the S is going to bring AI together, and it's going to reduce and bring the mirror system or star system 10, which is found on your calculator, crisscrossing and understanding the, whoop, I'm on the wrong angle here. Hold on a second. Right, we're gonna look at this over here, and we're gonna go the 9 1 10, the 7 3 10, the 4 6 10, the 8 2 10, all passing through the 5 5 5 5 area. Let's just call it Joey. We're passing through the single pocket of Joey. So now that it reminds me of Joey, it reminds me of Australia, it reminds me of New Zealand, creating all these animals under the seas, under the oceans. New Zealand, Australia. I'm going to take my 1-minute break right now. I'm going to be back. Hopefully we can get more people that show up. Right now it shows one person with 29 visitors, and I know that my information cannot be. Let's just go get that water in the kitchen. I did a little cleanup today. I'm very happy. Very happy about that cleanup. I grew this in 1 day from my pirate tooth. Well, that T ain't gonna work if I don't plug it in. Ah, that's better. I think that's the second time I plugged it in, or didn't plug it in. When I get to open my computer, I watched somebody doing, let me see what they were doing last night. It was incredible. In fact, if you can only be inside of me and feel my vibration for what I hear and what I see upon what is people, what they talk about is the backbone of our creation. The chakras, the zodiac, the astrological zodiac, the numeric astrological zodiac. To know that right in your mail, although they call it Messianic, right? It's also a connection to Mars and Earth, your birth, and the connection between the 2 moons of Mars and the 1 moon of Earth. I'm not talking about the other moons right now. They were talking about water is the head, right? Water is the head. Tetra. What is tetra, right? In Hebrew, right, they say tet. It's the 9th letter. When they say it in French, it becomes your head. Ra becomes the sun. It's like the hot sun. Gram or ram. And we already know ram is first. I know the sun splits 2 systems or has its leg in 2 different systems, holding on to a moon and a moon and a moon on its 3 legs. 1 moon here, 1 moon here, and 1 moon up here in the center. I know the letter M is 1000, representing 3 area spaces. I know Am without the E is not within the E world, but within its own world. It's its own world connect. 1 through 13 equals 91. When you add 1 and 13, it equals to 14. 2 14s coming together create the heart of the 28-day cycle of the moon. T is a point of a pyramid. This is the beginning of a division of 3 areas, O and N, total of 29, bringing the IT system together. With inside of you, the 2 systems, 1 to your left, 1 to your right, and you that stands between the 2 systems, holding on for your life, the 2 systems. Just trying to see if there's been anything spoken about, right? I wrote down Barbie and Ken. Ken in Hebrew says yes. 11 is your creation in the E-world sun, the divided sun. N and N, okay, equals to 28. That is your 1 cycle of the moon. When you put them together, it'll create the M, which is 3 different areas, right? It gets split together. When it gets split through the letter I, right? It's 9 and 18. Your base creation, right, is your 360, the money house, the house of bait. I don't know why this is not showing me good enough light. 3 times 6, 3 plus 6 is 18 and 9. I used a 90-degree angle to go like this, and then I used 180 degrees to go across like this. This is a symbol for Mars. They also call it Union Jack, number 73. They also call it Union Jack, number 73. Nibiru, number 73. Britain, number 73. Great, number 51, where your 2, 3, 4 resides. The word Mars is number 51. The word puck is 51. I know they're now playing on ice. Jack, like in Union Jack, equals 98. That is the high heavens of your alpha beta creation, your gateway. Where do I get this information? Let me show you. It's right here. It's Rubik's Cube, House of Mecca. It's also located, for maybe better understood, here. Now, where is that? Where's the Rubik's Cube? Where'd the Rubik's Cube go? Now, remember, when I speak, you are my memory right now. You have to tell me what I've already said, what I haven't finished. I put it on the side of the road. I created all these puzzle pieces, and I don't know where they are. I might remember where they are, but if you were listening, hopefully somebody remembers some of these pieces I spoke about in order to go back and keep building. You know, it's like I'm playing the guitar and I'm playing the drums and I'm teaching at the same time, you know? So I don't remember everything. I learn as I go. Some of the stuff I already know and some stuff I'm learning, and it just happens to be right in front of me. Going to get the hot tea, coming back, share, like. Okay, the only reason I want you to like is apparently if you boost up the amount of likes you get, more people might be notified to come check out the channel. Okay, if you want to, you ever ask yourself this question? Okay, how in the world do I have special communication to the source, to God, right? Now, first of all, I like to say God is the same way I like to say private in general. Because when you go into the army, the arm is me, matter and energy, right? When you go into the army, RAM is for Mars, right? You're no longer, your privacy, it's out the window. When you're private, it's all general. And the general, right, that's all private. That's the way it works. Flip the switch or flip the script. I don't always remember everything I said yesterday unless I remind you, you ask me that question, and I'll just have to breathe, separate myself from what I just thought with a new thought, and then I'll be able to dive myself into that to see what I can see. So give me a minute. I'm going to the kitchen and I will come back. Ask me anything you want. I don't know if I'm going to have the answer for it, right? Not sure if I'm going to have the answer. Never know what answer is going to satisfy the people. But what I will show you is the actual 100% connection to that reality that you would have asked me. Ow! That burns. That freaking burns. That burns. Well, I just put it in a new cup. Right, so I'm going to tell you I'm not happy that I wasted a little bit of it. Now take a look at this. What does it might mean to you? I only thought of it now. I've been wearing it all day. It's called a thimble. It starts with T-H-I-M. You know when they say, I am that I am. Well, T-H, okay, begins the first and the second letter. In Earth, it's the last letter. You're coming into the E-world of the split sun. You are the resident angel, the electronic resident angel, EAR. You come into time heaven. It only begins on number 4. It starts after the bronze of the soul. Either we're going counting down or we're counting up. But this one over here, right? LeBron James, okay? LeBron James. In the word James, the J letter is going to create the 10th letter. The 10th letter is 1, 2, 3, 4 equals to 10. A plus B plus C plus D equals to 10. It completes one wing, okay? It completes one wing of the 9. If you take a look, You complete the wing of 1, 2, 3, 4. The second wing, I can put the same numbers, but since we need to see the difference, they gave us 6, 7, 8, 9, telling us the story. We are a reflection. We're not the same number, even though we are alike. The mathematics will equate and bring us to, you will see how the mathematics brings both worlds equal all the time. And when it's not equal in certain situations, okay, other than other situations, like on the cube, right? If I show you 6, 8, 9, and 10, you'll see how the opposites are equal. But if you want a calculation like a prime number, right, that's undividable, there's a story and an explanation what's going on when the prime number does not match the exact figure. For instance, if I take 17 divided by 3, it's going to be 6 times 3 minus 1, and it's going to be 5 times 3 plus 2. So it's going to be telling me about A and B. I don't know if it's going to be telling me about AB blood, okay? When you're working on the 6th scale and dividing things by 6, and I have 19, I'll go 3 by 6 equals to 18 plus 1. If I want to go to 23, I'll go 4 times 6 equals to 24 minus 1, or 3 times 6 is 18 plus 5, and I'll bring 5 and 1 together. In that instance, I already know I brought the sun into the E world, into the divided world. I'm coming in as creation. Where do I get this? The 5 and the 1 separation that I need to achieve the number that I spoke about. You follow what I'm saying? Okay, let me explain this to you. The basic level, although it's C, okay, and D. That's your basic level, is C and D. That's where we will live in between the E world. Yes, every other number is going to say something. I don't want to start explaining everything. I have to stay on my story, on my track. I'm going to lose myself in this basics that I'm talking about right now. I'm going to show it to you. I'm also going to show you the relationship where monkey, gorilla, ape, King Kong, and Godzilla. I wanted to get back to tetragrammaton over here. They talk as gram is noted to be 28. Ram is noted to be the first zodiac sign, right? The Bélier, almost like the lamb. AM is not like AME. When you use the E in French, they call it âme or âme, meaning soul. So this comes without the E. So it hasn't entered into this world. So would that mean spirit? Well, guess what? If you add up 1 through M, 13, it's going to equal to 91. The 91st number is spirit. Spirit and spirit, 182. Double that up, 364. There are 364 days in 13 moons, the male moon. But the male moon, man, moves into the sun. The waterhead 9. It's waterhead for tetra. Tetra meaning, tet meaning 9 in Hebrew, connecting to the ram. When T comes into the configuration, it's the peak of a pyramid. T is like G, and ET is like 5G, okay? It's life. The reason for that is T reverse G, E reverse V, GV. Like to gov, the abbreviation for God is GD, but V is like D, but it's just on an upper level. You have D, you have M, you have V. The first level, the second level, the third level. Just like in numbers, let's say pick any number, 7, 7, 16. 1 and 6 is 7. 7, 16. And then you're going to have 25, 2 and 5 is 7. And then you're going to have 34 is 7. That's the exact reality of this cube. Fox headquarters. Maxwell Smart. Got to get his shoe phone. Agent 86. 99, the change in your pocket. 3 quarters, 2 dimes, and 4 pennies. Or 3 quarters, 1 dime, 2 nickels, 4 pennies. Let me see where I am with this. Hello, is everybody? I'm going to see if there's any comments on this page. Josh, you still here? How did I get to what? Okay, you're coming in the middle. You know, You want to come live? You want to keep up with me and let's see what's happening here? Or can you write it out here and tell me? Josh, how did I come up with what? Okay, because I don't know which part. I talk about so many parts. Most of the rules and regulations, okay, they come from what we're told to do in school in our English language and how to manipulate words in English or in French. They also come with when you're a certain height, you're not allowed on some amusement games. So I know I have to use that relationship. I know the size of a shoe is not only run in length, but it's also run in width. I know that there's two sides of the shoe lace to put in that one lace where both ends are equal to each other than one being on the inside, the other being on the outside. I know that if you have a lot of items, you're going to put them in a bag and it's going to be easy to carry. I know that we have a full circle of 360 degrees, but we only get to live on one plane and our vision is not behind us. So I use all these simple realities. I know that the U, the V, and the W in French and in English, all three of them talk about each other, right? It becomes 3, 4, and 5. And when I reverse them, it becomes 6, 5, and 4, right? And 6, 5, and 4 is the Federation, FED, Federation 15, and the lower side is 12. It just so happens the letters L and O are the same configuration. Let's see where I got with that right here. Your creation in the Delta world, right? Your V, your life, your beta creation, your communication. So here's your, so I have to know we go to the E world and we go down, or are we going up? Are we coming from Uranus and Saturn, going into Earth and Mars? These bodies we call Earth getting 25 years to life. So you look at the cube, they're all reverse 7s. But you do notice that the 5 and the 2 are opposite of each other. 5, 7, 7, 2 is Egypt. The Hebrews were brought from Ethiopia into Egypt for Pharaoh to teach them how to build the cities and Pharaoh the land. That's just one thought, one idea, okay? Just one idea. You know, if you divide a stream, right, or you have alternate streams, okay, or if you can send out, like when I'm when you video, right, they also call it a stream, right? So what did Moses divide? And who was the speaker for Moses? I'm just saying that the word Moses also begins with mother, right? 28 connects to the moon. And when you're putting together my design, okay, the M and the O, they crisscross. Not sure if we have it in this book or we have it in this book. Just give me a second. Or you know, even if you have a prime number, it's prime, fantastic. Okay, I know what it is. Tell me where it is. Let's see what we can do with it. Doesn't matter what prime it is. And it does nothing to go up to an exorbitant number. Just add it up to a lower number. I don't need to go that high. I just don't. Everything is in an auger system. You know what I'm saying? Just want to see where this is. All right, like here, look. 2, 3, 5, 7. 23.5. Okay, double that up is 47. Right now, we're in the time of the 47th president, right? It's the 47th president, but how did they call it the 47th president when the 47th was the 45? Why would you go up one? How many presidents were duplicated in the U.S.? So that's an equation in itself. You know, 16 in its own equation brings home a man bases on balls when you throw 16 balls in a row. And if you throw a ball as a strike, you have to mark down 15 and 24. You now have an angel with wings. Ball, strike. the circle with an X through it, the 15th and the 24th letter. The 15th letter reverse is 12L, and the 24th letter reverse is 3C. You now have L and C, 3 and 3. L is the 12th letter, 1 and 2 equals to 3. C is the third letter for alpha beta creation of the sixth life. Now, I know I'm all over the place. You got to keep me, you got to put the reins on, because when this information, starts coming in, it's like a tree, and it goes like, okay, am I going to talk about the flower or the roots, or I'm feeding myself and getting information and sharing it at the same time? I may as well just lick my fur, When you're doing the O letter, see the way the O goes like this? Because it takes up this amount of area. And then it takes up this amount of area, or it takes up this amount of area, or it takes up this amount of area. We can also go up one more row, because this doesn't end until 36, right? The strand goes to 36 before it starts to repeat itself. And in between that, there are cubes. There's a cube between the first 18 and the second 18. There's a cube inside of it. I can show you that cube. I can show you where this is. Okay, I'm going to go to my floor in a minute. But first, I want to finish off that I was listening to Decode, and he was talking about Syria and Turkey, or more Turkey. And Turkey is 41, so it says home. Turkey, 1, 2, 3, 4, has BC. It says after the death, before the Christ, right there. U and R comes together with key. Key is 511. 511 is a representation of Earth and a gateway. 5 times 11 is 55. 5 and 11 is 16 equals 71. It says sperm, dislocating from the moon or connecting to the moon. Something to that nature. Could be the moon, could be the sun. But either one. One of the reasons they call it the menstrual cycle, right? Because it has what I believe and I understand, that it has that connection to finish off when a child is in the womb. It's not just finishing off because the woman can create the child. Not in my work. It has to do with the sperm being able to connect to the electric, or to a source that helps complete the seed of the reproduction of the child. And then when we go into menopause, the connection, okay, is being lost, and it can no longer connect to recreate that child. Therefore, you can no longer have the children, right? And then whatever happens after that, I don't know the whole story, what it is, so I can't match up the numbers. Yeah, so I saw Josh, you asked me twice, or 3 times, how I did this. 4 times, 5 times. I'm just trying to see what this is. 5 times 5. Okay, whatever it is. Okay, Josh, so ask me again. Ask me again if you want to know. I want to know if you're here, right? Somebody wanted me to co-host, but I'm going to I'm going into the kitchen for 2 seconds. Okay, I'm going to come back. I'm just very excited that I cleaned my desk, okay, because I have pens and markers and pens that I don't like, and I have crayons, not crayons, I have colored pencils and colored pencils that I do use and some I don't use, but anything that writes, I can't get rid of it, okay? Because those are my tools, my livelihood, my freedom to write down everything that I find. So I'm going to get back to what I just did with U, V, and W. Don't forget, it's also 6, 6, and 6 in Chaldean. The U is, if I remember correctly, is 6, and the V, just let me say, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. U, Z, W, X, Y, Z. I'm just trying to figure out. 6 I know is U. Okay, so 5 is V. Is that correct? I just want to see if that's right. I like that if that's right. I'm just talking in gematria. Just give me a second. The gematria, the letter V is what number? Wow, wow. Wow, they're not nice. They didn't give me anything I wanted. Well, I'm going to find that design. Give me a minute, and I'm going to show it to you. You know, there's so many different ways to write out numbers. Right? Do you remember the 2, 3, 5 from here? Right? Now, I did this, okay? I did this for another reason. We run by 7. Although we come here as a birth 9, okay, and our life 6, is we get reduced because we come into the heaven. We are taking up an area space. We occupy an area space. We need the communication system. The heaven is that communication system. So the 8 and the 9 gets reduced, okay, and is played out through 1 and 2. The 1 and 2 gets added on onto the 6. One is the lunar moon. The other one are the moons of Mars. Gives you 6-1 and 6-2, and what is 6-3? That is your basic whole creation. 6-3, 6-2, 6-1, 7, 8, 9. So when you say 7, 8, 9, well, there you go. Even on the dice cube, right? Even on the dice cubes, when you look at the dice cube, take a good look at the dice cube. Oh, look at that, I spilt water and it's like a little man or something. Hello, Gabriel. Hello, Adi. What do I do? How sure, or can I say how sure of who I am, of what I do? And why am I so sure? Why am I so confident in my reality? One of the things I'm confident and I'm happy about is I want you to tell me if you cannot see what I see. And if you do not, no despair. Do you want to see what I see? Because I want to see why you can't see what I see, or if you see something that I'm saying that doesn't make any sense at all. Please speak. You cannot hurt me. If I know what I was doing was wrong and it was going nowhere, I would have stopped a long time ago. But fish upon a wish. Pisces, fish upon a wish. Have you ever taken a look? We're going to jump off and talk something about a little bit different. And I noticed that today. And it was the zodiac signs, right? This is in English, right? But when you go to French, look what they do. They put this, le. This is 17. When you put the E before it, right, it becomes 7. It becomes a gateway. 7 and 17, the lower and the upper. Then there's 27 and 37 and 47. When you get to 57, it becomes the moon. Here we have Bélier, ring the bell. Electronic. Here we have Taurus, L-E, 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 L-E. This one is different. It means more than one. So it means more than one of this sign. This one tells me it's the male sign. This is 13. 1 through 13 and 5 through 13, A and E create the O. Inside this O is 432, and your vibration is relying right here. Between E and A is your 2, 3, 4 vibration. So what you're going to get here, okay, and when they say lay, it's also like an A, but it's between two worlds. When they say E, it is E, but they also sound the E off in French as E, where now they say the I is now the sound of E, which on a dice cube, on 2 dice cubes, when you have 3, 2, you have 5, 4. Call that the female sexual organ. Let's go to the sun. Imagine the man who is into the sun, that when the female has the bat mitzvah, it enters into the 13th year. So it holds on, okay, to the E world, but it holds on to it when it begins. It begins in the moon. The female begins in the moon, while the male goes from the moon and into the sun. Did the cow jump over the moon? So when I show you, right, A and E, right, it's A, E, and I. The extremities, okay, is A and I, and encompassed between A and I is E. But when you're doing this, it might look this simple, but when it comes to games, the whole outlook of it changes. It changes at the bowl. It changes at the bowl. I'm going to show you this. I got to get to this. There's so many things going on at the same time, all the time. Every time I start to work on this, they send me all over the place. Send me all over the place. Let me take a look where this is. Here's one of them. I'm going to use this one with you. This is going to be 1/4 of the Monopoly board. When you look at the Monopoly board, right, you have this outside edging. See, here's a corner. Let's call this one go. When you travel down this way, there's 4 areas here. You went 4, 6, 8, 12, 16. By the time you get to the trains here, you have used up 18 area spaces. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So you have sat on 14 areas here and 2. So you become 14 plus the area you stand on the 2 area, you stand on the 1 area, although it's 2 area spaces. When I run all the way up to the center here, I have a single area. The corners are 4. This area, you can call it Mercury, you can call it Luna, Earth. You're going to call this one Mars, you can call it Venus. Okay, it's up for discussion, right? One of the Venus houses, there are 4 corners, they all belong to Venus, right? The train tracks, right? You're supposed to own 2 sides of the train tracks according to the law here. Well, that means the train tracks are going to have 6 areas. 2 for itself, 2 to the right, and 2 to the left, 2, 2, 2. This area is going to have a 2, 4, 2. In the 4 area, it's automatic that we're going to put not just a Monopoly board here, but now I'm going to put another Monopoly board here in this area over here, and I'm going to put 1 Monopoly board over here. By putting 1 Monopoly board here and here, another one fits right over here. And then you connect all 4 of them together to the main board. 16. This is going to talk about Mars. This one over here, what's going to happen is this single area, okay, is going to be encompassed by 8 areas that surround it. And that's going to control the rest of the 169 areas of the Monopoly board. 168 that surround 1. Not counting about the connecting boards. If Monopoly was like Rubik's Cube, we would be able to put faces. How many faces would we have of Monopoly on Rubik's Cube? I have to remember what that number was. I'm assuming you're not going to put all 6 faces on it just for the 6 sides, right? 6 times 169 equals 1014. I could. It's supposed to be 26. Irrelevant to the fact. The center of that Monopoly board. Let me write this down. Did I write this down yet? No. Okay. Do I have any space left? So let me see this 1 second for this other calculation. Okay, 20. Okay, so let me do this. I'm trying to figure out what the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 and 8 is 16. 16, 7, 8 to 9, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 20. I think the next one is 28. I'm not sure if I got this right. I'm not sure, but I'm going to show you what it is. When you're going around this area over here, like this, right? This row over here, 1. What goes around it is 8. What goes around this row here, see 2, 4, 5, and then you have this one over here, and then this one over here. You go all the way around, right? You go all the way around this area. 1 here, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let me see what it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. No, there's something wrong there. Just give me a second. I don't know why I'm seeing that. I'm just not designing it properly. So if you look at this one here would be over here. I didn't finish the rest of the design. Here is 8. Then around it is 16, 24, 32, 40, and 48. 40 and 48, okay, is the properties that we walk on, total 88. There's a reason why Trump was 88,022. It's 4 22s to equal to 88 because the expression in French talking about the communication talks about the cat. Multiplication of 4, time, heaven, creation. Then inside of that is 32 and 24 and then 16. So here you're going to have 56. If you want to add this on, 72, and then there's 8, and then there's 1. The total all around this area over here is 168 for the 168 hours in a week, right? 168 hours in a week. The board is made up of 616, which is 13 by 13, 169. 4 times 4, 4 plus 4 is exactly what this cube is. 2 of these cubes, reverse 3 and 4, Earth and Mars. The center of these 2 areas is 3.5. So if you talk about a 0.5, you're talking between 2 areas. 3.5 also talks about 4. 4 is connected. 0.5. I talked about the thimble before. Okay, the mirror world doesn't begin or gets reduced from 4th. Okay, either we're going up or we're going down, I'm not sure. Okay, but the numbers, okay, it's from 4th. 1, 2, 3, 4. So when you say thimble, right, you're talking about TH, which is in 4th, time, heaven, right? When you talk about I am, or you're saying I'm, that's 22, so that's busting out. 22 in blackjack, you bust out. The 22nd letter is ape. Okay, sorry, the 22 second letter is V for life, a life, for example. At the same time, just let me, whoop, I'm not in the right book here. What did they speak about? Ape is also number 22. It's the only one that will create day and night next to number 84. 2 times 2, 2 plus 2 will equal 4 and 4. 8 times 4, 8 plus 4 will equal to 32, equaling to 5, and 12, equaling to 3. Did I get that right? 16, hold on a second. 8 by 4 is 32 and 12, equaling to 44. 4 times 4, 4 plus 4 is 16 and 8. It's going to create separation between day and night, in which day begins at night, and night begins during the day. They're supposed to, what I understand, is supposed to be 8 hours at night. So if the night begins during the day, does that mean we go from 12 o'clock to 8 o'clock? And then what happens? It can't happen. It can't happen. One of them is 8 hours. The other one is 16. Although, okay, the 24 hours are 12 and 12 between day and night. One of them somehow, I don't really want to get into the explanation of this because I don't have the vision of it. I just know the actuality. And I do know because it's working with thirds instead of quarters. It's working with eights instead of sixes. There is a chromosome difference between, I think, man and ape, between 48 and 46, right? The Rubik's Cube transfers us between those chromosomes inside of us somewhere. This is spinning constantly, keeping us as man and not ape, possibly. The numeric value for gorilla is 74. The heart of this cube is 74. Jesus is 74. Energy is 74. GD, like in God, right, is also 74. Messiah is 74. Muhammad is 74. The E world on the fourth dimension of Joey in the one pocket, okay, which means 5, 14, 23, 32. 32 is also, okay, equals to a total of 74. You can count 5, 10, 15, 20, right? And I can go to 25 because of the alphabet. In fact, I can go to 30 and 35, and 3.5 is the heart of the cube. So then if I can go to 3.5, I now, because of the cube, I'm going to do that 3 times and then 1 time. I'm going to do it 3 times and 1 time because the ABC theory is ABC, everything is fine, equals to 6. The minute I add D4, okay, it equals to 10. The 10th letter is J, the reverse is Q, and we flip the from this side over to this side. Now, is it alternate current, direct current, right? What's happening between the sun and the moon, between alternate and direct current, right? Also to note that 135, no matter which way you look at it, right? Although we spoke at 35, the numbers, when you're counting all these numbers, right? The total of these numbers here equals to 45. 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8 plus 9 equals to 45. We never use more than 7 or 9 because this 9, I understand, comes and plays a role here, or this one plays, no, it plays a role here. These two connect, okay? It plays a role right over here. A is inside E, and E is also inside of 9, inside your birth. So I'm trying to think, do we go 6? Like, do we take this angle out here and we run this way? And then we come up here and we go up here and we run this somehow. We include these 4 and this one into our world. And then you have 1 wing here. See, there's 1 wing here. There's a wing here and a wing here. Which one of these wings will get this body? Do both wings get this body? Or does this here sits in the background? Do we work with these or do we work with these? Which 6? We work with all of them. The question is, where are they working together? I might be working with TikTok a little bit more because I like the color. I like this little machine I'm working with. If you want to help support the channel, that would be insane great. But one of the greatest things is when you get involved and you get answers that satisfy you, that make sense, that you can share. Is there a family member that's been saying, hey, I'm getting old, or may God be with you, or you know, whatever it is. What is the God? Is it a system? Is it the God system? Right? How do we come to define, interpret what that word is? Because I can tell you in 60 years, okay, what it's done for me. I can tell you what the word God, okay, Lord, Creator, has done for me in my 60 years, right? And let me tell you, until I was 5 years old, for me, right, I was the one who woke up in the morning. I decided if I was going to get mad, if I was going to do something, I was going to decide on everything. And even though they say we don't have free will, right, my parents, didn't matter what I decide, they're the boss. They're the boss. So SS in boss is 38, O is 15, equals to 53, and 2 is 55. So your boss is your sky pass. It lets you open and close the gate between the two worlds of EIEIO. 5959. Remember, you're born into the E world. And the passage is not whether you can move about the cabin, right? But while they say stay in your seat, it doesn't mean you can't move about the cabin, right? Because it's all up here to begin with, and it's always up here. Doesn't matter if you're tied down or whatever. Even though it's not, you don't want to handle certain situations. How did we get into these situations? Who are we? Anyways, I want to stick to the numbers, but this, like I said back at the beginning earlier on, right? Let's not forget the thimble, right? I am time heaven. Teach, TH. TH begins with TH and thimble, right? TH, put it together, it says teach. I believe that I need help here because I can't breathe. So I'm going to get somebody to help me breathe, right? But anyways, I could breathe, but when I'm saying that I can't breathe, I got too much paperwork. So I'm going to go out and get some help. And I'm going to get more help and more help and more help. So whoever this creator was, right, it needed help. And we're here to help. We are here to help. Possibly what we could be, okay, is we can be part of the operating system for the main source system that isn't functioning properly. But because we can speak and transfer the understanding of certain elements, whatever it might be, we might be able to make a correction in the main source system that runs this entire entity, okay, this cell that we live in. Not talking just the body, I'm talking completely out there. You know what I'm saying? We have to protect ourselves. I had something on my phone I took a picture of the other day. I says, what can protect me, right? And one of them was this. No matter what runs into this, the springs bounce off of it and nothing happens to the house. And then another one was here, living inside the heart of the house. So I just wanted to go back, and I'm going to finish with the ape and monkey, right? Let me finish with the ape and monkey. So we have gorilla as 74 as Jesus. We have monkey at 83. We have ape at 22. 2 times 2, 2 plus 2, right? 11, 11. Well, it just so happens to back my Rubik's Cube up is this is the master. Now, Gary 33 or GG 33 talks about the master numbers. It's right here. I'm going to hold it up. You tell me, you look at it. Do you see the master number 33? 11, 22, 33. I ain't joking. It's right here. 666 is right here. Your birth to rotation of life, right here. Ape, monkey, the queen, right here. How can we learn to understand this? Right here. These are tools. These are tools. These are tools. There's rules and regulations and actions that happen when you ask the right question to these elements. The deck of cards, more tools. Let me show you Venus. Many houses of Venus. The 104, okay, in 52 parts of the house of Venus. And the same numeric value to the sun. As well, when you split it in half, or either way, it becomes earth vibration, living in between 1 and 5, A and E. AE equals O. O is a relative to what is Mars. When you say, oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so? All of this, okay, is not a song. Say, well, why are we singing it? Where did it come from? It's man-made. No, it's not. It was an obligation. You know, they said we don't have free will. Well, you do have free will. You have free will to choose. You have free will to choose what's in the closet, in old Mother Hubbard's closet. And that's what you have the free will to choose. So you had the A and E, okay, and the I, 1, 5, and 9. Separation, 44. Unlike the separation, okay, I'm going to show you the separation of 33, and I'm going to show you the separation of 44. Razor blade. Let's call it razor. So we're going to go to Arkansas. Okay? Because everything also relates to every single sports team that's in this. I work mostly in North America, NA, like in tetragrammatron, like when you use the AN or the EN. When you create the razor blades, you're going to be creating, pending how you want to cut, right? Either it's the N or it's going to be the razor blade Z. If I put it this way, the razor blade goes the other way. It's the N and the Z, right? Like Zion, like New Zealand. Why is this like this? Not me. Whatever I do is not by my choice. I find it somewhere, then I choose, then it becomes my choice. But the equations become fair, that if we bring anything else into this equation, it's going to be fair to that reality. And it is an equation that is fair. We have to see that things are fair and balanced. I want to see why. Okay, this is good. Just give me a second. So let me, oh, that's not a good plug. Let me plug. Just give me a minute here. Last night, and it was just amazing what he was doing with the chakras. It made total sense, but they kept putting Venus and Mercury. Like Mercury, I think finished into the 4th area, and then in the 6th area, it ended up to be Venus. Well, that's what the actual is. Okay, the male and the female. The 4, 5, and 6. Even in Saturn square, you work with 15s. 4, 5, and 6. You work with the Federation, right? Let me show you this 4, 5, and 6. This is also going to create the letter M. Roman numerals. 4, 5, and 6, the letter M. They're both 20% away from 6. When you're counting in the game of blackjack, you never start. You never start at 0. You always start at a higher number. So am I starting at 10 or at 5? And 10 and 5, like in the Canadian market, right? You only pay with 5 cents and 10 cents, which is going to be a reflection of A and E. Okay? E and A. It's a split source. Has anybody seen the top of A look like that, looking like the E? I mean, you can look at the A any way you like, right? I'm not sure which way I want to look at this, but here's the way it goes. What happens? You have a left side to the A and a right side to the A. The 88 is connecting 2 systems together through 3 moons. Communication of the moons of Mars, Phobos and Deimos, to the moon of Earth, Luna. We have 2 moons of Mars, connect them to Mercury, right? So you have the 4th planet and the 1st planet, okay, and the 1st planet gets 2 moons. And then you have Venus, okay, which is the 2nd planet, and Earth, which is the 3rd planet, okay, equals to 5, equals to 5, equals to 3, okay, and 1 and 2 equals to 3. And what happens over here, right? A, B, C, D, okay, A, B, C, D, 2 and 3 between 1 and 4. The setup of the star 10 system. The setup of the star 10 system. 7 and 3, 10, 9 and 1, 10, 4 and 6, 10, 8 and 2, 10. Always passing through the 5th position, Joey, the 1 pocket, 5, 10, 15, 20. On the higher scale, it's 74, meaning 5, 14 instead of 5, 10, right? Where it goes from 5 to 1 to 6 to 2, right? 5 to 1 to 6 to 2 to 7 to 3 to 8 to 4 to 9 to 5, and then it ends. Or it goes 5, 14, 23, 32, ending at the pig. A, E, and I. 6, 7, and 8 over here. 5, 7, and 9. 6, 7, 8, 5, 7, 9. 1 going, and the 2, 1 going towards 4. 5 and 4 is 9. 1 going through 2. This one over here is the same thing. 4 going through 8. 4, 5 going through 7, 2. Did you notice that this one goes on this angle and this one goes on this angle for 4, and this one comes back as 2 and 2. 4 and 2 is a gate. And it does it below also, right? Look at that. When 2 goes over to 6, it's 4. But when 2 goes over to 4, okay, it's 2. 1 goes over to 5, it's 4. 3 is in the center of one side. This is our guide. My hand is hurting. Oh my God. So let's bring to the ABC. Let me put a little water in my mouth. How's everybody doing? Let me see what the settings say. So I want to see who's here. How you doing, Mr. Woodpecker? How you doing, Cynthia? Please do not hesitate to ask me anything. Okay, let me check. I just got a little message. I don't think it's from anybody, but Kate, someone's got to keep me in order. That's just whatever it is. It doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. Has anybody ever thought about the Georgia Guidestones? The word George itself, okay, talks about the moon. It talks about 1776. Martha, Washington. Ton equals to 2000 as well. What Martha, okay, Mary or Mars. Martha, T-H-R, hard, talking about the sun. So Martha, within Martha, you're talking about, in George, you're talking about the electric moon. And in Martha, you're talking about Mars and the sun. So what is that connection, right? And I want to go back, to the monkey and explain the monkey, the reason, what they say between the monkey, the ape, and the gorilla. All three of them. Also to note that the 46 and 48 chromosomes. How many chromosomes on a monkey? 40. Monkeys typically have 48 chromosomes, which 2 more than humans. 48, and 46. Okay, 48 and 46. Half of 48 is 24. Half of 46 is 23. Think about that one. And I'm going to come back and tell you a few stories, but the more information you share with me, the more I can decorticate it, because I just know how all these numbers go together. So it's more like a science project of just understanding these numbers. These are absolutes. I'm just going to do number 79 divided by 9 equals to 9. 9 times 9 is 80 minus 2 equals to 9. Okay. 79 divided by 8. I don't like to do, okay, equals to 9. Okay. And that'll be 9 by 8 is 72 plus 7. I'm going to show you something. Let me see if I did this right. 8 times 9 equals to 72 plus 7 equals to 79. Now I'm going to do 9. No, I did that. So now I'm going to go 9 by 9 equals to 81 minus 2 equals to 79. When I come back, I'm going to show you that answer and show you how crazy the math is with this. It's sick. It's sick crazy for a human being, okay? I can't fathom how it's so perfect, how it fits with this. It's not a 9 system, it's a 7 system that we're living in, right? It's because they're not explaining there's 2 numbers, okay, that are explaining your father and your mother that created the seed. You become the 3 system, right? And we need the system itself to be here. We need to breathe to be here. We need the mind to be here. We need all the materials to build us up. Okay, the seed does not grow. The tree doesn't grow in the middle of the air. It grows into the ground. We grow in the middle of the air. We need all these elements to be able to stand on our own in the middle of the air. Oh, God, you're crazy. No, you're crazy. It's crazy that look at us. Look, I got a finger. Life after death. I got a personal relationship with the Creator. How is that? And then they tell me, you know, when you die, rest in peace. So I got my first computer. They gave me back the rest in peace. They gave me part of it. They gave me the IP address. You know, IP address, my IPA. I thought that was Indian Pale Ale. So if you're getting Indian Pale Ale, right, which ends up to be ale, it also, when you look inside of it, the end of ale is actually saying two suns. There are two suns in Indian Pale Ale. And when you talk about the Indian Pale Ale, there's, how can I say it? Yes, the IPA, which is 9, 16, and 1. And this is your base configuration of the reverse of the 3 and the 4. 4 times 4, 4 plus 4 is 16 and 8 equaling to 24. 3 times 3, 3 plus 3 is 9 and 6 equals to what is 15, right? Remember that 6 and 8, that elusive 6 and 8? 24, which is the cat, right, equals to what is 6 and 8 equals to 14 and 0, 2, and that's how we get into the ape. I'm going to show you how the ape connects into the cube as well. We're 4 people here. We need 24 more likes just to bring in more people. Again, I am here to just share the information I have, but after 20 years, now I know why I'm sharing this information. Now I know why I'm finding out this information. Okay, this information is true. It's pertinent to know that if you can connect to the understanding that there's more to this world and that there's, I don't want to go into the ETs that are here and how they're able to do what they do. Okay, they had to pay to get in here. Okay, they have to run off of our communication system. Well, it's not our communication system. It's the communication that we were given in order for us to sustain life. So whatever comes in this created world, you have to change your suit. You have to put on a suit that you can live in this world and have communication amongst us and not look different. You have to fit in. So everything you do is with the alphabet, is with the characters, with the dots and the dashes and the line that created the characters. So you have to use the same characters. And in this system, okay, that I understand by the end of the system, only because over time how I read through things, 3 out of 4 this and 2 out of 5 that. And imagine, even in gambling, they always make it never to a losing position. So the house always has to win, no matter what. Right? The house is always winning. And one of the things in horse racing, there's a 1 to 9, which pays 210, which is 105, the hand of God. That 10 cents is of our 10 system creation. So no matter what happens, right, there's only a certain amount of 1 to 9s on average, if you look over time, that ever come in. 1 and 9, 9, 11, bringing 2 systems together, where the 9 birth, okay, brings a system to the right angle, the delta angle. One of the reasons why the Greeks and the Hebrew both go Aleph, Beta, Gamma, Delta, and it's Aleph, Bet, Gimel, Dalet. They go from off the C to the G, okay, and then to the Dalet. The G and the D, the God, right? Divided gates, 4 and 7, the beast, Jesus. The E world that they come into, the 7 and the 5, the female and the male, the 12 and the 13. The split sun system happens at 13.5, and that is going to be the orange ball and pool. The orange ball and pool, 60 and 27, right? The word orange equals 60, but what it is about the orange ball is the orange ball is 13, and it comes in with the 5 ball. And the reverse of that is NV, right? And NV equals to 36, and your base creation is going to end up over there, right? These 2 words create this. Only the number 18 will create this. 1/3 and 2/3 in the sun system of creation. The one spirit, the 8, the Venus world, the 420 world that rotates all around this area, in which this area is over here. We only have the quarter worlds of this, 2 of that 8. It takes 1 and 2 to create this, therefore 3 and 6. 6 and 3 and 3 and 6 come together. You remember I spoke to you about number 7 and 4? Nine times 4 is 36. 9 times 7 is 63. These two, okay, these two, you have your 9 birth coming into the 7th gate. On your telephone, they have 4 letters. They're the only ones with 4 letters. Yet when you go to the money machine, right, the ATM, 2 letters are missing. Does anybody know which 2 letters and why possibly are they missing? Okay, I'm going to go back to the kitchen, make some more hot water. Anybody have an answer for that question? I'm crying out for a little participation. I think I'm getting more participation on my cell phone than I am here. Come on, right? Is this real what I'm talking about or it's not? Does this make any sense or it doesn't? Okay, we're going to get on to the monkey and the man, the IPA, the Indian Pale Ale, right? The Indian, we have to go to the pale skin. We have to understand the word Indian, right? We have to understand also, like I said, why are those 2 letters missing on the ATM and they were shifted over to the 1 position? How is everybody doing? Ape, gorilla. This number will recreate number 39, creation and birth. It'll create a 12. It'll create an angel. It'll connect to the star system. In the word gorilla of 74, okay, what is inside ape is inside gorilla. The G and O is also 22. But this 22 is a 15 black. Every single other one is red. Gorilla. Let me see if I spelled gorilla properly. gorilla.
According to Wikipedia, gorillas are herbivorous, predominantly ground-dwelling great apes that inhabit
24.
forests of Ecuador.
2 wings separating the gateway. 24. 2 wings separating the gateway. Sorry about that I just can't find it, anything or everything right away. Wow, I got so much in here. Here's one of them. I mean, I got 3 different pages open, so I got to put my finger in this one over here and put something in this one over here, and oh yes, and show you this. This one over here, okay, is going to connect with, you see this up over here? Right? This one over here, this one over here. These are your wings. These are different wings. This is a wing. It's also the way you move in the game of chess. The rook. Oh, the baboon. Okay, orangutan, orange, yes. Orange, okay, the orange, the orangutan is what's going to split the alphabet in 2. The baboon is going to connect directly to the moon, 2, 1, 2. Okay, now I don't know if it's coming from this world to that world. Thoth is 28, O 28. You have 2 wolves, you have 2 moons, you have 2 cycle. O is us. We're living within the vibration of AE inside of O. Okay, because what's inside that circle of O is AE, right? 2, 3, and 4, 9. 2, 3, and 4. 2 times 3 times 4, 24. 2 times 4, 2 plus 4. Create 8 and 6. Let me show you something. I know I'm going to be all over the place all the time. Okay, I know I got to complete this. Okay, I know I did that. Did I have the alphabet up here or here? So let me show you. This is what it is. The star system of 10, A, B, C, D. Okay, A, B, C, D. Then we have A, B, C, 6. Then we have B, C, D, 9. This is our rotation right here. The after the death, okay, is we leave this world over here and we show up over here. Okay? This B ends up going first from the second position. From the first position, from the second position. So in all actuality, it'll be 2 and 7, 9. But this is your 6 and 9. Your 3 times 3, your 33. Why 33? 3 times 3 gives you your 9 birth. 3 plus 3 equals to your 6 life, in which you pick up the 1 moon, Earth, to it. The touchdown and the extra point gives you an ABD. When you get the 2-point play, you're getting the earmuffs of Mars, and you end up with the ACD. When you look at the deck of cards, the Queen has 8 eyes, the King has 7 eyes, and the Jack has 6 eyes. I spoke to you, I was going to show you the cards before, and I never did. I mixed them up, and then I lost it. I said everything's related to Venus. Everything is related to Venus. Every single card in the deck is related to Venus. 1 up here and 1 down here. 2. 1 over here, 1 over here. This one, I'm going to call it Mars, Venus. There's 2 here. Look at that. I never counted them that way. I'm counting the 5 here, but now there's 2 inside and 2 outside the frame. 2 inside, 2 outside the frame. Call them the Mars pictures, right? And when you come to this card, there's only 2 of them. I'm counting what's inside, and there's no longer a framework, right? There's no longer a picture frame. Picture frame, TV. TV is related to ET, and there's a passage going on between that. Where does that passage show up? 2 times 4, 2 plus 4 equals to 8 and 6. I'm going to show you how perfect these dice are, and I don't want to lose the equation that I did a few minutes ago, right? Which was this equation here, if you can remember. I said I want to get as close to 79 as possible, right? So I went 9 times 9 is 81, minus 2 equals 79. I went 8 by 9 equals 72 plus 7. Now look at 7 and 2 equals to 9, right? And it happens to every single number the same thing. When you hold up this calculator, everything is 9. I'm going to show you the connections now. I'm going to show you another one here. 9 times 8 equals 72 plus 6 equals 78. 9 by 9 equals to 81 minus 3 equals to 78. 6 and 3 equals to 9. You're always going to get different numbers. If I wanted to do, let's say I did 77. So if I went to 77, right, I go 9 by 8 equals to 72 plus 5. And then 9 times 9 equals to 81 minus 5. Did I get that right? Minus 4, sorry, minus 4. 9 by 9, 81 minus 4 is 77. 9 by 8, 72 plus 5. 5 and 4, 6 and 3, 7 and 2. Now I'm going to show you the scale. 1 and 8 equals 9. 6 and 3 equals 9. 4 and 5 equals 9. 3 and 6 equals 9. 2 and 7 equals 9. 5 and 4 equals 9. Only the 5, 4, 3, 6 will become the male and the female. It will be love. The word love comes out to 3, 4, 5, and 6. It's also going to work out into the sun. Now what's going to happen when you go downwards is this will equal to 7. This will equal 11. This will equal to 7. This will equal to 11. You notice this one is equal total. This one will equal to 9. This will be 7. This will be 9. This will be 2. They're all going to equal to 729. 9 by 9 by 9, if I get that correctly, is 729. Yeah, 9 by 9 by 9. 1 and 6, 7. 4 and 3, 7. 2 and 5, 7. 8 and 3, 11. 1 and 1 is 2. I should have did it the other way. 8 and 3, 11 equals 2. 5 and 6, 11 equals 2. 7 and 4, 11 equals 2. This equals to 7, 11, 9. 7 and 11 is 18. 1 and 8 is 9. Do you see how this whole thing works? This row over here totals to 21. Row number 2 equals to 33. And row number 4 equals to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, sorry. 1. Let me see if I can do this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold on. 5. 6. The total is 54, right? The numeric value for love in the sun. 7, 9, 11. Now, So big deal for the mathematics, right? What happens if we can put it on here? Check it out. By the movement of the rook, by the movement le tour, 7, start this way and go 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2. Meaning move over 2, down 1, move down 1 or 2 over. So you go over, start here, jump to the 9, down to the 6, 13, 1 and 3 is 4. 8, over to 9, down to 3, 11, 11, 13. Now we go from the 9 down 2 over 1, create 11, create 2. 6, down 1 over 2, create 7. 3 over 2, up 1, we create 7. 2 over 1, up 2, we create 9. 1 up 2 over 1, we create 9. 4 up 1 over 2, we create 13. 1 and 3 is 4. 7, 2 down over to 6, 13, we create 4. The top part, or the O area, the 6 area over here. 7 and 6, 8 and 5, 9 and 4, 13. The lower area of the boot, or the shoe, is 4 and 7, 6 and 1, 5 and 2, 7. 7 and 13, identical. Identical. But right now we're building the star with both sides owning the heart. But now what we have to do is we should put the 5 only into one world. We have to shift the center. You live with that heart in your world. The 8 is not a participant of that E world. The 8 is not a participant of that world. And the reason I say this is that when you say 8th, E-I-G-H-T-H, you do not add on TH equaling to 28. You're only adding on the H equaling to 8. And Mars is 2 cube. Sorry, Venus is a 2 cube. Right? Well, with Mars, it's a 2 cube. Mars comes into Venus when Venus increases its size to 2 cube, right? It becomes 8. 8 on one side and 6. So we're going to find out about these chromosomes now, right? What happens in these chromosomes? Well, let's take a look at these dice first. Maybe the chromosomes are going to tell a different story. How you doing? How you doing, Big Bear? How you doing, Khalid? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? DNA, how you doing? How you doing? How's everybody doing? Let's see if anybody, how can I call anybody to co-host with me? You have to ask yourself if you want to come into the room, right? Maybe, what happens if I put up some windows? I'm going to put up some windows, like request windows. How do you do that? Okay, yeah, so I'm going to put up request windows while I'm writing this, just in case somebody wants to talk. How do you do this? Mirror, mute, pause, settings, comments. Just let me see how to do this. Interact, let me see. No, draw, guess, no, enhance, more. There's got to be more here somewhere. Let me try and figure this out. What's that? I don't like pinning anything. How can I get people to come and join if they want, right? Mute, settings. Let me see settings. Manage queues, ranks, moderators. Let me go see if I can put moderators. Oh no, I don't want to have to go out and get anybody. What about here? Okay, that's not moving. Okay, so let me do this. 1 5 6 2 3 3 4 4. I'm trying to write neat. I hate when my work looks messy. Now we have 3 and 5, and then we have 4 and 2 equals 6, equals 8, equals 8, equals 6, equals 8, equals 6. Okay. Whoop, I have to put in. What happened to that hot water? Inside of us, my friends, inside of us. Stations, little stations inside of us. They run like this. The center one controls what's happened, what gets distributed on the outside. There's 18 around one. And there's a distributor in the center, right? It also runs, I think it's called the tesseract, right? With this one, actually it's not that one, it's this one. Now I'm not sure if it runs inside of it, or this would be the 2 cubed, right? This one comes as this basic set. And then what we get to do is we get to wrap this with 12, right? We start off with 6. We wrap it with 12. 12 is the letter L. The reverse of L is O, the 12 and the 15, which is the 6 and the 3, which is 3, 6, which is your basic creation of the 6 life, alpha, beta, and 6 creation, right? 3 is 1/3, or 13, or 3 times to what is 2/3, okay? 3 to 2, 2 to 3, what is 2/3? Creating day and night in 1/3 equals to 120 degrees by 3 equals to the game of hockey. In hockey, you have periods. In baseball, you have innings. Okay, now they sometimes call football the third quarter, but they also call them periods. Periods happen in a moon cycle of 28 days. The woman runs the 28-day cycle of the moon. The periods are at the end of a sentence or at the end of a phrase, which is at the end of a sentence. They're also at the end of a chapter. So all periods are the end of a chapter, and they have to do it number 28. You know, I never did like school, but what I did like is a good concept of learning, right? Maybe that's why I didn't like school, because I didn't like the concept of what I was learning. For why am I learning it? Why are you here? What am I sharing with you? Am I teaching you something? Do you want to know something? Is it that I'm teaching or telling? I'm telling you the story, okay? That was a story that I learned. I had to learn it. So if I had to learn it, you can say taught. We are the students, right? I like to go taught. Taught. T-O-T, taught, instead of T-A-U-G-H-T. Now, with the taught, T-A-U-G-H-T, I already know that if I put that same G-H in the word T-O-U-G-H, that would be tough. So can I go tuft? Can I say tuft in taught and go, or how about I wouldn't even know what to say, because in tough it's with an F, right? So what if I said, without pronouncing it, GH becomes silent. So that 7 and 8 is now silent. It's a rotating door between the king and the queen. And I'm assuming, okay, there's a couple of ways to create this. Right? I'm going to show you just one small way. This is a heart, and it connects here. They're both 8s. This is a singular 8, this is a hexagonal 8, and this is 88. And I'm assuming somehow it goes in between this system. I like to call this the star system of the queen. 8, 8, and 8. See the diamond that's inside of this? All I did here, right? I didn't draw 88. I'm going to show you what I did. All I did is drew one heart. When I drew the other heart, they were on top of each other, creating 88. When you create this design that I did, the overlapping squares, right? It ends up creating the cube because I overlap the squares. When you're drawing in gematria, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all the odds and all the evens overlap each other, right? They overlap each other. I'm going to try and show you this. Well, I am going to show you this. So you can see this here, right? Okay, I'm going to show you this a little bit better. Let me just get my little toy out over here. Put the piece, oh, I can't put the pieces back together. I need another Rubik's Cube. Oh, I can put them together in another way. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, right, is if you take a look, right, can you see that? I'm going to see if I can find any colors. So we have one cube, and then we have the other cube here, right? I'm just going to... So we have the two cubes, and then we have this central cube over here, right? And then we have this cube on this side. Let me see if I can do it in this color over here. Right? I didn't overlap this cube. Did I overlap and finish this cube over here? Now what happens between this cube and this cube, okay, is this area over here, okay, that's number 8. The first cube, let me do this again. I'm going to do this again, except I'm not going to do as many cubes. Okay, now what happens is this is 5 and this is 7. And this is 5, right? That's going to total of E, G, E, right? The reverse of this is V and T. E, G, right? And what you get there is 5G, T, V, 42. This one will be 12. This one will be 3. This one will be 6, right? What's inside is 45. The sun lives inside the creation. These two over here. 7 times 7, 7 plus 7 is 49 and 14. Although it's the same number, 63, what happens is this becomes 5 and 4, 1 and 4, 5. 9 and 4, 13, 1 and 3, 4 becomes the female. The male, the female. The female in the single digit, the male connected together. 4 times 2, 4 plus 2, again, back to your 68. You remember the 46 and 48 chromosomes? When you come over here, right, you put your 6 here, your even number here, and you put your even number here, 6, right? So your cap in numbers, right? Your cap in numbers is right here. This is the Mars system. This is the top of the pyramid. 17, right? Now I could have did this differently, right? But 17 is part of the, right? Is part of the 17, 34, 51, 68, okay? House, planet, at the gateway of reflection. The 17 inverts, okay, to 10. It's also part of the 88 system. 8 and 8 is 16, 1 and 6 is 7. It's also part of the ABCD system, the star system. ABC equals to 10. It becomes 10 and 7. It can also be 10 minus 7 equals to your base 3 creation. And you know what's funny about that is the mathematics will create 5 and 2. Okay? And when the mathematics create 5 and 2, there's an old CB code right? I think there's a CB code somewhere. Let me see if I can find this. Yes. I'm going to 10-7. Rest in peace. Rest in peace. They're going to sleep. What is 10-7 in CB codes? Out of service or leaving the air. Out of service or leaving the air. 10-3, stop transmitting or shut up. Okay, now there's a difference. Look, where do I get my information? 10-4, we come into the mirror world. At 10-3, we stop transmitting or shut up. Shut up. Okay, shut up. And then here, 10-4, message receive, affirmative. I'm not going to get in what an affirmative, starting with this, tells me about half area. Anytime you mention this, the French, when they say this, I only hear half out of their mouth. The 10-3, the 10-4, the 3, and the 4. Okay, they're the reverse cube. I'm going to show you that in a minute. This is also an earthly number. Okay, it belongs to 5 times 2, 5 plus 2. Okay, equals to 10, equals to 7, right? Right, equals to 10, equals to 7. So I don't know if it's a minus or a plus. Remember I just said that 17? This is gonna reverse. Let me see if I got that out there. Right. See if I got that out there. The other one of this is going to be 18. It's going to equal to 8 and 9 equals to 17 or 0, 1. The 1 and the 3. You're both of these that will create your 17, right? Will be 7, 8, 9, 10. Do you remember what I just showed you before? Your base creation, your one wing of creation, okay, that we don't need E, F, G, H, and I, because within this, it's going to explain everything, and it shows it right here. It shows you I reached out after 4, okay, it went into this, 10, went from 6 over to 10, 60 minutes and 90 minutes on the clock in rotation of the sun. Well, the sun and the moon for the sun. Tennis has 10, but tennis also has 15 and 15, and then the star system comes together, and then you win the game. I'm going to switch this around. I don't like to look at it this way. Let me flip the camera around. So here's what we're going to do next. The rib of atom, a cell, evens and odds, creating the cell within the system. The pig, the ham, the gorilla. Yes, we were talking about gorilla and monkey. I didn't do the orangutan, right? So what happens is 6 times 2, 6 plus 2 will create 12, 1 and 2, 3, and 6 and 2 is 8. Okay, it's going to be related to the dartboard, which has a 50 and a 25 center for 75, the electric moon, right? The 83, when we play blackjack, which is the game of 21, there's 21 dots on the cube and 33 void. When you play blackjack, they're calling for 21. The payout is 1.5. In between the 1.5 is your vibration. When you play blackjack, the ace is 11. They only show the A letter because of its design. It shows it split. The I letter will go right in the center over here and split the 2 sides, giving us the Luna moon and then the 2 expanded moons of Mars. But wait, what if this bar over here happened to be the I, and I have to do it this way and create the fish-looking angelfish that points in this direction? I don't know which one I want to use, but I have to use both and tell you those stories, right? So we have ape, gorilla, monkey. Monkey, monkey, monkey. When does the monkey start in blackjack? it starts at 12. So they're calling for 10s. They're calling for the Venus or Mars to come and get them. Right? Those are the pictures they're calling for. It doesn't matter which one. They're all valued at 10. That means in the game we're 11. We came into the house of bait. Right? We brought our spirit into the house of bait. Our soul, we were born into the house of bait. 11, 11, and 11, 11 equals to 22. And it's this over here. This piece over here. I already showed you 4, 5, and 6, the cribbage, the 15, the Saturn square, or it creates 120 and 15 equals to 135. 6 times 5 times 4. 6 fois 5 fois 4. C'est 120. Plus 6 plus 5 plus 4, 135. Or 13.5. That split of the alphabet is 13.5. 135 is the ace. The sun to a Pythagorean single-digit count, also counting up to 999, right? 999, which is I am, because the 1 going between the Roman numeral M, 1000, right? But regardless to that, what's missing here to 999 is 3, 4, and 5. Your 12 and your 15 reflective. And I'm going to show you where this is found on the dice cube and what shows up and what it connects. Also to know that ET is GV, or it's 5G TV. The TV is a total of 42. 4 times 2, 4 plus 2 is going to separate what is 6 and 8. Now I'm going to show you the 6 and 8, what I had written out a couple of minutes ago, and show you how perfect the math is and these cubes. So when we go to 4 and 4, we're going to get 3 and 3. Now, do you want to see how perfect that is? Just give me 1 second. I just want to see where I am with this. We go to the math of 33 and 44. Multiplied and added. First of all, okay, the 6 and 8 shows up. But this one shows up in the addition, and this one shows up in the addition. The divided 7th gate ends up here. Otherwise, in the multiplication, it becomes 9 and 7. Remember that, 9 and 7. The birth into the gate, the halfway house, the divided gate. But anyways, to go back to these two, this one is 1 and 5, 6. The total here is 2 and 4, 6. But this is what the opposite sides of the dice say. Now, when we bring it to the next 8, because we're doing 8 and 6, I'm going to show you a 4, and I'm going to show you a 1. And we have 1, 4, we have 6, 3. That's our basic creation, our 6, 3 to the 1, 4. This is what they call home. This is what they call king. The king and the queen is 62, and 41 equals to 103. That would be the king and the queen. And when you become the queen, okay, the U comes with the E. Okay, the Q-U-E is a word. 2 letters are not a word according to the rules of Scrabble. I base everything on games. Not only on games, on sports, on amateur and professional. There's something different that's going on between the two. In amateur, it's okay? AME is the soul. So when you connect AME to a word, you're bringing the soul within the word. If you separate the 3 letters, okay, you might be working with the Mars moons other than possibly uniting it together, working with the one earthly moon. It's the Mars moon and the Earth moon. It's Mars and it's Earth. It's Mercury and it's Venus. They're all coming together. They're all one of the wings, pending how you want to put the picture together. But in basis, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, they're one of the wings. We haven't taught the kids anything. We are the children of creation. The truckers drive out there, good buddy. They have 18 wheels. You're talking about 18, you're talking about 18, you're talking about 18 that surround this cube. You're talking about 10 and 8 that surround this cube. When it's time to discuss it, we will. But the way it's surrounding this cube is it's surrounding the cube okay, that comes in with 6 and 1, okay, comes in. 6 and 1 enters, and then we connect 12 onto the hub. Where let's say this is the hub. Maybe this is the truck stop. Perhaps the husband. Because now what we do is we take the Mars cube, okay, after that, which is a 2 cube, which is 8 areas, and we put them all the way around. So we have a 4 coming together, and we have a total of, we have 4 and we have a 12. And we have a 4 and a 12 coming together, which is going to add on to what is the 6 and 1 that's already here. No, something's wrong. 4 and 12, 4 and 12, 4. No, sorry. Why did I say 4? It's 8 and 12 and 6 and 1. It's 4 in the top, 4 in the bottom, or 4 on the side, and then the 12. So it's going to reflect the purple ball, right? It's going to be the purple ball. And when it's the purple ball, the 4 and the 12, what happens is because the 4 above and the 4 below, okay, connect to all the 3, 3, 3, and 3, meaning that this area over here, and this area here, and this area here, and this area here, all have 2 colors. They all come with 2 colors. They all come with 2 colors. And then I don't have one with 3 colors. I don't have the corner one, but I do have this one over here, right? I'm not sure if this goes over. I don't remember where this one went over, but so there's a total on here of 12 and 8 and 6 and 1. This is your touchdown. This is your 6 and 1. You see 6 colors of singles and something you don't get to see at all inside this cube. So let me get back to the dice. Then you have the 3 and the 5. So when you have a reverse 3 and 5, you're going to have 2 and 4. The electric company gateway, the cat's gate. So when you show it over here, the 3 and the 5 and the 2 and the 4, on this side is 8, on this side is 6. Maxwell Smart, Agent 86 with his shoe phone. SH27OE, 47 for his shoe, where his soul is. Time, beast, lives in his shoe. The total on this one is 23. The total on this one is 14. 1 and 4, 5, 2 and 3, 5. Here's a 7. 1 and 5, 6, 2 and 4, 6. Here's a 7. 1 and 1, 2, and 2, 2. The math is perfect. On the minus side, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, and 8. This is where your gateway will be in alpha beta creation 1 and 2. What does it come with? 3 and 4. It's perfect. It's perfect. Here's your 1 and 2. Right over here. 8 and 7. When you're playing in your creation, you get these gateways. Your creation is your 5 and 6, 11. Your 2 and 9 into the IT world of the sun. Don't count that 2 and 9. Don't count that 3 and 8. Okay? But count that 4 and 7. It's your 3 and 6 and your 4 and 7 that bring you into the 2 worlds. It's the II captain. The reason for the II captain. One of the reasons for the II captain, in which in this implication, right, you bring the 2 wings together. Okay, I'm just going to draw over one of my drawings I already have. What happens when you're connecting the 9/11 system, right? You connect it like this. Here's your sun belt. Your sun belt is going to connect this one over here. And if you want to see what it looks like, this. No, we're going to have to look at this one. There's two ways to do it, right? I didn't show you about the ATM yet, but it's coming. It's coming. Right here. So what we're going to do, okay, you see that design over there? You look at the phone. Connect the 1 with the 8 with that line. You see the 1 and the 8? 9. The 2 and the 7? 9. The 4 and the 5? 9. And then this line over here. It's outside. The 3, 6 is outside. It's on the right side. The 3, 6, 9 equals to 18 for our right, the 18th letter. The 1, 4, 7, time beast in that control, 1 and 7. And when you show this angle, try to understand this picture that this is distance. It's not a flat piece of paper. It goes the distance. This over here. So you're going to have your 9, 9, 9, and 9. So when you do the 11, I'm going to do the 11 for you. You notice what we have is here we have 4 and 7. 5 and 6, 11 lives between 4 and 7. This number 4, this number 7. 5 and 6, 4 and 7. 5 and 6 is the reverse of 1 and 2. 7 is the house of bait. 4 is the mirror world. You see the way we connect this side and then here and this side and here? I didn't use this area, the 1 area, and I didn't use this area, the 9 area. 1 and 9, the 19th letter. S. And that S letter connects everything together through the cube over here. This is the E. Number 74. 7 and 4, 11. Jesus. It also reduces down to 29, the IT system in the sun. What I wanted to show you, I actually already did show you, maybe you didn't notice, right? That when you have 1, 6, 7, 3, 4, 7, okay, and 2, 5, 7, right? I don't know why I have this. Oh, right. That wasn't the one I wanted to show you. 1, 6, 7, 3, 4, 7, 5, 2, 7, right? And you 3, 4, 7, right? 1, 6, 7, and 2, 5, 7. So when you have that, what is not there? Remember, 1 has 8. Take off 2 of these, I have 7. Take off 3 of these, I have 6. Take off 4 of these, right? I have 5. I have 1, 4, 1. 4 for 1 exchange into the E world. And so forth. The dice is the same thing. The face of these dice, right? The face of these dice. Just give me a minute. The face of these dice. Let me see if I can... are all like this. They're all 9s. They're all 9s. They're all 9s. Now you can also look at a surface face of a dice, okay? If I'm looking at Mars, I only see 4. When I look at the Earth dice, I see 9. Can it be real? Can it not be real? It's to be discussed. But on this cube, it's most definitely 9. If I did it on here, the Mars cube has a single line in it. Has a single line in it. The Earth cube has a double line in it. Mars is going to cause a single dot. Earth is going to cause 4 dots. In order to occupy a single cell, you must create 4 dots. In order to divide the window, right, you must only create 1 dot. And this is according to the artwork, what happens in the artwork and building. When you go to a builder, ask them how they measure. Ask them the basic ways to measure something, and it's corner to corner. Once you get corner to corner, you can use the center area, right? And maybe you can count another line, understanding from here to here, make a center area, but that becomes the center area, right? Once you make a cut this way, there's no more the full cut this way. It's either all the way this way or all the way this way. The saw ain't stopping in the middle. And not only is the saw not stopping in the middle, but please try and remember everything that I say so you can remind me, is that the saw that was, maybe because it was, now I got to put saw and was down, is because in French it's L-A-M-E. I'm going to write that down and check it out. How do you write saw in French?
In French, that's
How do you say a blade in French? A-M-E, lamb. This is a wing, and this is the lamb. This, when you write this letter out, it means 50. The L in Roman numerals is 50. The M in Roman numerals is 3,000. It cuts all the way across, 10, 10, 10. So is it telling me how I'm cutting it across because I'm using the M? And how the M is created, how you draw out that M is going to tell you that story. In this scenario, okay, it shows me more like two N's other than the M. Could be talking about the split moon. When you draw the larger M, it'll show me a V. There's a difference between the two and what it seems to look like. Okay, the N is the 14th letter. When you have two of them, you have 28. You have a cycle of one moon, right? When you have 56, you have 2 moon cycles. And if you have it at one time, 2 moons equals to the 2 moons of Mars. 28 is the lamb. 56 is the wolf. The wolf now belongs to Mars. I'm going to boil up some hot water. I'm going to come back and take a breather break. Have to breathe. There's probably some information I jumped over. So yes, so when I said lamb, which is see or saw or to cut, this is one wing of the soul. So I need to know a little bit more. What is that soul? One wing of the soul. There's 2 parts to the soul, according to this. Or do we have one part? How does that work? The matter and the energy, the A letter is telling me it's divided coming into the E world. This is talking about the ocean and my dreams. If it's talking about my dreams, automatically, I'm lying this way on my bed. It tells me 180 degrees. I got my feet in that world. I got my head in that world. And there I go, number 18, born into the house of the divided sun, 2 times 9 or 3 times 6. The same thing they do in the cribbage. Cribbage is a game where you get 120 and then the game ends at 121, 11 by 11. The 120th day is March 31st, 313, which brings on angels and cycles in the moon, the 313, the 13th moon, which brings the male into this game, but then the female is the one that runs by the moon, which is the men's cycle, and the men jump into the sun. The sun becomes number 14, and the split to the connection to the two is going to be what is 13 and 14, or 5. What is 4 and 5? What was 3 and 4, Earth and Mars, is now Mars and Jupiter, in which will now, after that, it's going to move over to be Jupiter, okay, and Saturn. Jupiter 5 and Mars 4 is 9. Then you have Jupiter, okay, 5 into what is Saturn is 6, and now you've created your 9/11. But the heavens that you live also within these moons are connected to what is Uranus, okay, because you must have your 6th life. You come into the 6th life, right? Don't forget, we have to have a central operator, and the word 0 is 64, which is the division between 4 and 6. But it doesn't mean you live on 4 and 6, right? You don't live on 4 and 6. You need the 6-1. You need the communication services. 6 and 1, 6 and 2, 6 and 3. The field goal and the extra point, and now we have the 2-point play. What happened to the music? Can't concentrate with the music. Okay, that's going to boil. So with that said, when you have 1 and 6, okay, 7, you have 1 and 6, 7. Oh, wait, is that the one where I was at? When you have 1 and 6, 7, you have 8 and 1, 9, 6 and 3, 9, 4 and 5, 9. So what we do is 1 and 6, 7, 8 and 3, 11. 8 and 3 is monkey, coming through the half-life. 91 spirit, 61 church, 2, 3, 4, 5. In between, equaling to 14. The band of this is 14. It's AD bringing two systems together. And you can see two systems here and here, two systems together, right? Two systems together, crisscrossing. So now we have the next one over here. What is 4 and 3, 7? We have 5 and 6, 11, right? And then with this system over here, 5 and 2, we have 7 and 4, 11, 11, 11, 11. We have this over here. And we have this over here. The craziest thing to understand is when you look at this dice cube properly, and to note that the 12 and 6 that run with this, only 3 of them, only 3 of these center ones will get a dot. But these areas over here, only 2 of them will be marked. Only 2 out of the 6 sides get a marking. It's going to create the HINZ, Heinz 57. Look, there's nothing and nothing. There's nothing here, nothing here, nothing here, nothing here. The only time you have anything at all is here. And when it's here, it's not here. There's never more than 7 of 9. Never. And you have it here, and you have it here. This one will penetrate through. It's the only one that penetrates into the 6 when the half-life shows up, right? It'll go from the top down to the bottom like that. The same thing we can do with this. 8, right? You know the way the Freemasonry, they hang that thing down, right? Like that. They hang it down like that, right? Well, what they're doing is they're going from 8 to 1 and 8 to 3, 9, 11. They're going from 2 to 7 and 2 to 9, 9, 11. They're not only doing that, they're going from 4 to 9, 13, and 4 to 3, 7, 20. from 7 to 613 to 1 to 6720. That's what they are doing. They're only showing us the skeleton, the skulls, and the bones. They're not showing us anything else because we have to be able to see it. It's just so easy to see it. It's just there. It's just there. I mean, you want to ask, well, how do I know? What book did I read? I didn't read any book. I've never read a book in my life. I mean, I never read it. With what I do today, I basically haven't read anything that taught me to do what I do. I learned to do it. I study what everybody else does, and I implicate the mathematics, okay, in order to understand the story going on with inside that element. Now we're down to one person here, which is completely like terrible. Somebody invites me to co-host. Should I?
Yes.
How you doing? Let's go. Kitty cat. Kitty cat, you're in a battle. You're on the battlefield. Cat, communication angle of transmission. You are in the battle. We're on a 2-minute break here, right? We're on a 2-minute break. You're taking the battle. Maybe we can we like ourselves? Yeah, it looks pretty sad, doesn't it? What are these battles supposed to do? Tu parles français, Hugo?
Merci pour ton tapotage.
Yeah, I got this screen won't move over. I don't know, I lost my screen. Oh, that's not where I wanted it to go. Yeah, I got to flip the camera around. Oh, I guess we got the hot water going here. Okay, gonna get some hot water. That'd be the tea. Okay, I tried to get out of it. It took me a little bit to get out of it. What is it? What is the point of it? Personally, the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life. I'm serious. This is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life. Hey, let's show off a little bit what the art is. Your high Q, right, is on the wall. There's a TV set on the wall. Earth. Hold on. Excuse me. Aura, are you hungry? So let me tell you about the wall. What happens with this is when you draw these bricks, right, you're going to create an H and an I, 8 and 9, your birth in the heavens. You're also going to create what is the 5 and the 2, right? They're going to create you a gateway. When you multiply 8 times 9, 8 plus 9 is 72 and 17. When your 1 and 2 comes together creating 3, that's your base creation, right? It becomes 35, 3 and 5, right? Which is 11 and 12 basically in star math. 1 times 1, 1 plus 1 equals to what is 1 and 2, 3, and equals to what is, I forget what else I calculate. Oh, yes, equals to 3 and 2, which is 5. And I wanted to show you A, B, C, D. For those who haven't seen it yet, right? This is the basis of A, B, C, D. Well, whatever it is, I don't have time for it. And I'm trying to bring people in. The winning host may propose funny tasks for the losing host to compete during the victory lap. I don't get it either, but whatever it is, here's what happens. A, B, C, D. Okay? Over here is going to be the 14th letter, right there. It's going to split in the Y position and going to connect each side. It's going to connect the 7 and it's going to connect the 9 as number 16 and as number 18. When you get to the bottom section, this center over here is number 23. 2 and 3, 5, 1 and 4. A, D, B, C, A, B, C, D. It's going to encompass this. This is the center that's going to connect the lower section of the numbers and the higher section of the numbers. There's 36 dots, and they're connected in this fashion. You have an upper and lower cube. That dot at the top, when it's coming from the top over here, that's number 17. That's a gate. When it's over here, it's 20. Okay, this is 17. This one is 20. It has to be flipped around. I didn't make any flipped around. This is another way to do it. This is when you connect 4 dots. This is when I connect 9 dots. 4 and 9, both the same finger, birth and Mars. In this section over here, and I've shown this many times, this is binary code. Right? Well, there's not very many people on this whole system. You know what I'm saying? Or at least not a lot of people. Somebody invites me to co-host. I'm going to not pass it. I mean, maybe I'll ask somebody one time or let somebody ask me. I'll just say yes. But we're doing this over here. And then there's little offset connections. I don't really know what they are, you know. And I like this one over here. See the star system? There's not one everywhere. So when you're looking at Rubik's Cube, you'll have one here, one here, one here, one here. Not here. Not here. It's a passing from here to here to here to here. This possibly can be Rubik's Cube, and maybe that's why I didn't put those diamonds in that area, but it's something to think about. Is there any space where I put them all in between? Right? Is there anywhere that, well, I might have missed one over here, right? And then I have 9 Nina. Right? I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 9 Nina. Should it have been designed another way? Should I have put another dot here? Right? On the 7 card and the 8 card, right? Here's the 8 card. Here would be the 6 card. I did a little bit different. So here you have your 8, which is, and see that piece over here connecting the 2 moons through it? You have your V, and then you have your 8. Your 2 cubed, your V. Right? If I took another one of these, I would put one here and I put one over here. So I'd have 4 of them. But either I'm using these 2 or these 2. See the way these 2 are separated? When I use these 2, I'm going to bring another one of these together down from the top to encompass another one of those. And I have the, I like to say, London bridges. Right? You got the guard standing up here. You got the gateway. You got the little bridge. Right? And here's Mr. ID. I drew this as the letter I, putting the head on as the D letter, right? Which shows you C to one side, C to the other side. So you're going to get two circles here, maybe the vesica pescis or whatever you want to call it. In between two moons is Luna, traveling between two moons, traveling, trying to get through, right? And then the Twin Towers. The two towers, and this is done in 2013, right? This is done in 2013, and the new Twin Tower built in 2019 looked like that. And that's exactly what I drew because it's an obligation. We're running with the two moons, right? Let's call it the bunny rabbit antennas. And we put in the ham radio in between, knocked out these two, brought ham radio in over here. All of this has to be understood because it's a story. It's all a story. What about you? Communication, angle of transition, right? So we're just going to switch this around again. Let's see where we're going to go next with this. I'm going to take it off the big monkey face. Okay, let me take it off the monkey face. Just let me check here how long I've been. What happened to that? What happened to my... Oh, yeah, that's not how you take the monkey face off. Okay, yeah. So I'm looking at something here. Bélier, Taureau, Gémeaux, Cancer, Lion, Vierge, Ballon. Okay, so you know what's funny about the zodiac signs is that when we get to the 10th and the 11th and the 12th sign, we have used 1 and 0, 1 and 1, and 1 and 2. So what is the story that's going on with these signs? Well, there's a story going on. Why did I need to repeat? Is it because I'm not going to use A, B, C? You know what's funny? I don't write it, but this was written to me, right? So when we count over here, right, in the first world, we're not using 1, 2, or 3. It's being replaced with 10, 11, and 12. 13 is where the 4 is. 14 is where the 5 is. 15 is where the 6 is, and that's where everything starts over. We work between 7 or 6 and 15. And that's when you bring that at 6 and 15, it's going to count in the green ball, right? The green ball and pool. The 6 ball, the 6 ball and 15, right? But it's the 6 and the 14. It's the 6 and the 14 that we have to use because that's what's green, right? Why was it 6 and 15? I have to remember what was going on in my head, right? I'm just trying, because we have to use two numbers all the time. Yes, if I'm using 6 and a 15 ball, right? They'll both be 6 and 6. One on a lower level, one on an upper level. So until we get to the 15 ball, that's where we bring AE into this world. The 15 is what is 9 and 6 equaling to 15, right? And the 6 ball can be in the lower world, but the 6 ball can also be in the upper world. There is no 7, there is no 7, and there is no 8. Remember I showed you before the way 7 and 8 belongs to 1 and 2, 7 and 2, 9, and 8 and 1, 9, right? In the striped world, and that's the world under judgment, and in the world of judgment, we have an arbit. Maybe it's a bit rate of some sort. An arbit is a judge, right? It's also noted to be as the referee. Referee. F-E-R-E. R-E-F-F-E-R. 9, 5, 6, 6, 5, 9, 5, 5. I think it's written that way. So we have to understand through games, whether it's baseball or hockey or football or soccer. The color choices pop. The color choices. So I'm going to see 93, 104, 115, 126. I don't know why these numbers are here. 28, 28, 39, 39, 41, 511, 612, 717. I'm not sure why they're here, but they all tell me something. I'm just trying to figure out what it is. Fate. 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 Yes. And even when you have the word fate, right, if depending on how you want to say it, you could be talking about the summer, the divided sun. You can also be talking about 8. Now you said fate, meaning you ate already, not that you're eating. It also has to do with the word tea. So that word has to do, like the tea bag is for you soak it in the tea and it filters. It filters. And fate, just give me a second, is a birthday. So if you talk about a birthday, right, you're going to mention 2 things. Although birthday is 57 and 30 and it shows a gateway at 87, 12 is also number 87, and it shows you you're through the moon, right? What birthday does is it talks about 9, 12, and at the same time 6. 9 for your birthday, 6 for your life, okay, and 12 for the 12 months of the year that it takes to get around to each and every one of your birthdays, right? Okay, fire and air, very interesting. Fire and air, fire and air. You know what's very interesting about fire and air, in which I just noticed it today, is that with fire in French, you use EU. And with air, you use AI, right? Also that with air, in French and in English, you don't change any of the letters. Blue, air, you change none of the letters. With fire, okay, the R is gone in fire and the I is gone in fire. The E and the I, they take on an exchange with each other on the cube. On this cube here, okay, the E and the I, the exchange with each other. It's the 1 and 4 equals to 5 to what is the 6 and 3 equals to 9. So the 6 and 3 is going to be the male, okay? So the opposite of that, the 2 worlds are coming together through the split sun, okay? The 6-3 is going to be that male. And then the 2-3 is going to be the female. The 2 and 3 equals to 5 is going to be what is the 5 and 4 equals to 9, and that's going to be the female. Female is 5-4, male is 6-3. So the 5-4 is the numeric value for love in the sun, yet it's telling me about the male. So I'm trying to figure out what's going on. Is there something being sown that the man comes into this world and has to go back out through the sun? Is that part of the death cycle? And yes, and water, okay, what is number 67? In French, it's E-A and U. And what's ironic with, like, we have feu, F-E-U, okay? F-E-U, which is 26 and 632. So fire is now going to be related to the pig and the ram. It's also going to be related to number 23, BC. Number 23 comes out at, okay, connecting an X. Number 14 connects a Y. Number 23 creates an X. And the other one creates a Y. Now, I think about it sometimes. If you create an X, that means, are you not associated anymore? You were associated, now you're no longer associated. Because it's your ex-job and your ex-wife and your, you know. But then again, what about the ecstasy, taking you up and above? Or the extra, read all about it. Or how about the extraterrestrials? So terrestrial means Earth. And EX equals to 29, right? So you're not bringing the spirit into the birth. It's not a 3811, it's a 2911. But you don't have a 4711, but in the game you have a 5611, right? So the 9, 8, and 7, when you come into this game and you play it, okay, you play it at 56. Here's your 2, 3, 4 vibration, and in the 11th house, it becomes your 888. Do you follow where I'm going with this? 11, 11, 11, 11, 44. There are 4 of them, but we're only going to use 3 of them. The reason for that is in this star system, we know all that we have, but we can't use all that we have because one is from this system and the other one is from that system. So we never use more than 1 out of 2, 2 out of 3, 3 out of 4, 4 out of 5, 5 out of 6, etc. So we're going to look at this. I wonder if I can like my own video. There I go. Hey, brought myself up to 3,000. So this is what it is. Here's the major star. Now this star is 44, right? 33, 33, 33, 33. Right? If I'm going to connect them all, right? Actually, it's not like this because the angle is changed, right? The angle is not the same in this. The angle of this one, okay, the angle of this one is only this one over here, right? After that, they change. After that, they change. So it becomes 33 and 11. And we already saw that the void of the cube is that 33. And when it does change, just let me see how it's going to change. We are going to get the 7 and 6, 9 and 4. I'm going to see if I can 7. Hold on, let me see what I did. 7, 6, 9, 4, 8, 5. Okay. When we do it, you see there's 2 ways to do it, right? There's many ways to do it. We do it all the way around. Instead of connecting this way here, I'm now going to use the same piece on this blank, and I'm going to connect it this way. Connecting 7, 6, and 9, 4, and 8, 5, and then 1 and 3. Because they're all 13, 13, 13. Here I have to go around, right? I have to go around the 2. I have to go around the 2. So here I get 39. Angel is 39. Now when we do it again, right? When I do this again, over here, I did it on the lower side. When I do it on the lower side, I end up with this. Let me take a look at the calculator. Where is my eraser? I've got a kitty cat next to me. Where did my eraser go? Shouldn't be that hard to find it, right? Shouldn't be that hard to find it, right, Aura? You're just sitting right there. Let me see this. Just give me my eraser. That's not funny. I lost my eraser that was right next to me. Still is, except this time it was on the floor. So let me just do this, right? 1, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3. We were going to connect here, here, and then we're going to connect here. Okay. And we're going to connect 7, 7, 7. You notice the average of pulling it over, right? From here over to here, here over to here, ends up over here. It ends up at the 3.5 mark when creating the 7. When creating the 13, it ends up at the 6.5 mark. When you create 13, it ends up at the 6.5 mark. When you create the 7, it ends up at the 3.5 mark. When we create the 11, it ends up at the 5.5 mark. Sky pass. Well, you just have to look for yourself. Right? Drag from here to here. See where it goes through, halfway between 5 and 6? And we're going on that angle, right? We go to that angle, the 3 plus 2.5. 8 minus what? Right, it's 5.5. 8 minus 2 is 6. So it's 5.5. 2.5, the distance between here and here. It's the same distance as 1 over to 6, 2.5. 1 plus 2.5 is 3.5. So what about 2 over to 7? Well, it's 4.5. It's 2.5. All the movements are 2.5. 25 years to life. 2 and 5 build themselves back up and then cut them in half again. So I'm not sure where we were, and I'm a little bit tired, so we're going to end it early tonight. Much appreciated those who have joined me. And that's it. I think we're going to end it here. I'm just missing a little bit of energy. I have a few things now I can study. I still have to go over the zodiac signs again and again. I still have to do the numbers on them. I still want to know a little bit more of the air sign, the mutable sign. And thank you very much for what I was sent here so I can take a look at that. I think it's very important. And when you get to 126, you're talking about the moon. You have 115, and you're talking about the key. When you have 104, it's Roger, communication. 93 happens to be Saturn, angels. 28 cycles, the beta heaven. The teaching heaven is 8228. 17 is the Q gate. 1 times 7, 1 plus 7 is what's going to connect you to 7 and 8. And it's just going to keep rotating, 71, 71. That 71... right, that's marked down, or 17, which is a Mars pass, right? It's a communication pass. What's going to happen, that is going to be, it's a reflection, because the reflection of that is your A, B, C, D, 10. The reverse in the alphabet is 17, okay? The 71 minutes equals to 1 hour and 11 minutes. One of the reasons you're seeing connections, these connections, I like to call them the... I'm not sure if it's the 181 value, right? Because there's a game where you have 3 dice, and if you get all the same number, I think the payout is 180 to 1, if I remember correctly. So that 17 keeps showing you alpha, beta, 1 moon, 2 moons, 1 moon, 2 moons. It shows you a gate. 7 and 8 is the gate between the king and the queen. When you see 612 balance, you're back to the moon again, right? When you see 511, okay, sorry, it's the spirit, it's the church. It is, you can bring both moons in with your 6 creation. Your 511 is the key. It's going to be talking about your 511 is funny, although it says Mars and your 234 vibration, it's going to be actually talking about Earth and Uranus connecting together. Also, when you have the 11, that's going to give you your base creation and will recreate your 1111. Your 1 and 5 will create an 11. 1 times 5, 1 plus 5, 6 and 5, 11. So you have that. So anyways, we're going to end that. Thank you for being here. Peace and love. We're done for tonight, or done for now. Thank you very much. Ciao, ciao. Peace.